Good morning, girls. Today's lesson is called balanced or unbalanced. We are talking here about forces. Balanced forces are forces on an object that are equal in size and opposite in direction. This man here, he is pushing with both legs to keep himself stable, to keep himself balanced. The air is pushing him to this, or the air resistance is pushing him to this direction, and he is pushing towards this direction. They are equal but opposite to each other. This one is 100 newtons and this also is 100 newtons. So they are pushing with equal size but in opposite direction, so they will cancel each other's. What about this girl? She is sitting on a chair. Her weight is pushing her down, and the chair and the ground are making her stable by pushing her up. So both of them with the same force will keep her sitting in the same position. This means they canceled each other's because they are equal. A man here is pushing the car or the toy car with both fingers with the same force. So the truck will stay still because he is pushing equally, so they will cancel each other's. This is equal to this, so the car will not move. Okay, when this man stopped with his skaters or skateboard, his weight is pushing him down and the ground is pushing him up, so they are equal and they will cancel each other's. So balanced means equal size, opposite in direction. Equal in size, opposite in direction, so they cancel each other's. What about the unbalanced? The unbalanced, they are not equal, are forces that causes a change in motion. These two persons, both of them are pulling the rope, but this one is pulling it stronger, so with 50 newtons, while this one is only pulling with 30 newtons. So the rope will move towards this person, the red mark, because he has more force. This is an unbalanced force, so they will not cancel each other. The rope will move. What about here? This bird, he is flying down with 25 newtons, and the air is pushing him up with 15 newtons. So which one he will move in which direction? The bigger or the greater newtons. So he will move down because they are unbalanced, so there is change in motion. This car, the same thing. This rocket, it is pushed up with 300 newtons and the gravity is pushing it down with 100 only, so it will move up. There is change in motion. Why? Because the forces are not equal. One of them is bigger than the other. A force must also overcome the force of friction before an object will move. Of course, so for something to move, there is another force we just talked about in the last lesson called friction. They must overcome this friction to move to the direction that it wants to move to. We have here an aircraft or an airplane. There is 4 forces that are acting upon it. When a plane flies at a constant velocity, all the forces are balanced. Why the plane does not fall down? Because air resistance is pushing it up, its weight is pushing it down, a force called thrust is pushing it to the front and dragging it to the left also. This is another force, but all of them are equal. Drag is equal, thrust, lift is equal to the weight when they are balanced. So all of them are equal. So the plane or the airplane will move with a constant velocity. Why? Because it has balanced forces. All the 4 forces are balanced. So now we knew the difference between balanced and unbalanced. Balanced forces are forces on an object that are equal in size and opposite in direction. So they cancel each other's because they are equal. What about the unbalanced? It is the force that causes change in motion. Change in motion. Why? Because one of the forces is bigger than the other. They are not balanced. This man is pulling with 50 newtons while this one was 30, so they are not equal. So the rope will move. There is change in motion. And we must overcome the force of friction. What about the aeroplane? If all the forces are equal, so they are balanced, so the plane will move with a constant velocity. I hope it's easy. Thank you, girls.